X-Force number 9. So we start with a game where they spin the bottle, and if the bottle lands on you, then you gotta turn your claws on into your head. That's bizarre and strange, but for some reason Cyclops is talking to Jean like, what's wrong? As if everything's all hunky-dory, like this isn't the most strangest thing ever. But I guess they can heal, and that makes things okay. They're in this huge party, great artwork. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Where is she? Mystique. Looks like she's got a smile on her face over there. Now, because of what happened in X-Men issue number 6, that doesn't work for me. I think she needs to no longer be in these social gatherings. If they have a big texting group chat, then maybe Ben Percy and Jonathan Hickman should have been on the same page with that. I don't want to see Mystique being happy. She's supposed to be really, really sad and crying. Speaking of sad and crying, they want you not to call Honey Badger Honey Badger. They want you to call Gabby something else, which I'm not going to address. And Gold Balls is Gold Balls. Those are the names. Beak is Beak. Everyone who had a name change recently, I can't get with, except for Apocalypse. That's kind of cool because they got their own little language. Which, by the way, their own little language thing. This is the book that it finally hit me, because Beast had a mug and it had the Krakoan language on it, and I was like, man, let me translate this. But in order for me to translate, I have to get up, walk over. I'll have to find the House of X, find that page with the translations, English alphabet to the Krakoan. I'm not about to do that. If the final page of each comic book had the alphabet on it, then maybe I'd skip to the final page and do some translating, transcribe. I'd try to learn what the words were. And they should probably do that. You know, they got no problems with adding extra pages to our comic, do they? No. Like some of these white pages. It's going to say, then, blah, 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 what the X-Force did. Now, the X-Force, blah, blah, blah. The problem that I have with it is that the first words are, now, several months ago, X-Force staged the stealth assault on Terra Verde. That happened several months ago because comic books come out monthly for us. In the universe this takes place in, Marvel sliding 10 years time scale. Everything that ever happened in Marvel is condensed into 10 years. So Spidey was bit 10 years ago. Cap came out of the ice 10 years ago. Iron Man was in a cave 10 years ago, okay? The Gamma explosion, the outer space ship that the Fantastic Four took up, that roughly was all 10 years ago. All that stuff happened. And it also slides because now it's 2020. So I'm just supposed to believe all that happened in 2010. And it makes my brain relaxed. But when you say that it happened several months ago, it makes it harder for me to condense everything into that little bit. Several months shouldn't have passed. For these guys, that wasn't months ago. That was last week. Don't take your time for granted. Because, again, also because this is a shared universe, if time passes for this character over here, then I want to see several months pass for the other characters who are always teenagers. And if these teenagers finally grow in age and they're actually in their 20s, then that's got to mean that Iron Man and all the other heroes who age normally, they've got to have some grays and they probably can't function anymore. Falcon can't be as super as he is because he got older. I guess Thor won't be affected because there's some who are not going to be affected. Wolverine. But like X-23, and she's in the vault. I believe at the end of that issue, they only said she was in the vault for 30 days. Even that's a long time to tell that. That's a long time to say how long someone was in a vault for 30 days. But still, they said 30 days. Over here, we're saying several months ago. That's my problem. Let's move on, though. So Quentin Quire calls Beast Beastie. Okay. And then there's another part over here where Quentin Quire is complaining about stuff. The way that he's dressed is a issue, and Wolverine is going to snick, give him a wardrobe revamp. That whole page, meant nothing to me. And I'm waiting, to see where this is going to come into fruition. Like, why does this matter? And I don't think it mattered at all. Maybe the writer, Ben Percy, was just trying to show us um, like moments of two characters interacting. Well, Domino was there too, or maybe it was for Joshua Cassara to draw up a new look for Quentin Quire. Cassara did a good job of drawing Terra Verde. You see that little lion creature there, right? Now, with Domino, who was the other main character here, from what I remember, Colossus, she told Colossus, when I come back, keep my memories. And I remember saying in this review, well, you see, she's not going to have, because there's going to be multiple dominoes, there was a fake one and there's probably more fake ones. To tell the difference between them, the real domino is still going to have half of her skin peeled. But that didn't come out. And I was like, did I make a mistake? No, apparently, Colossus lied. That's how I interpret this. That's what happened. Colossus told whoever the rejuvenator people are, he told them Domino wants that memory erased. But she was saying the whole time that she wanted to keep that just to fuel her and everything. And she thinks I did it for the right reasons, man. I must have felt that I didn't need those, and so I'm gonna trust my judgment for my own self. And she's going on like everything's okay. Now this is a great story. It's also similar to what their New Mutants are doing with Beak, of how Beak doesn't know that his dad died because he's on a hospital bed and he's recovering, so they didn't tell him exactly what happened. Maxon and Manon, and they can control the emotions. But this is also cool too. Will she interpret Colossus's actions as love? Wow, thank you for caring. Or you compromised me. I can't trust you. The answer to that question is going to be interesting. Now, another point, I want to give credit for the artwork. This whole page where they're going back and forth and back, it's Beast and it's Quentin Quire, and the layout of all of it is wicked. He's running, Quentin Quire is, from, it's not an island, it's a god. Now, deaths, gods, they get the eye roll from me because what is God really? Thor? Yeah, Null is a god. God doesn't mean shit to me. So in comic books, when I see God, that doesn't. So this last page effect was just as effective as, oh my God, Quentin Quire's head got chopped off. It's just like, well, he'll be back. So no, it's another Quentin Quire end of the comic book kind of scare kind of thing. That's the review. Did I also mention the Honey Badger thing? Yes, I did. And her name, it's got to be Honey Badger. That's the review. Bye. Watch my Comic Book University podcast that will come out, I think, Tuesday. What's the other video I did? Outlawed. Look at that review. That was a good book.